de jogo visual novel, o pessoal falou, me indicou muito esse Detroit aí, velho. Falou que é um bom jogo pra quem não curte visual novel. É um jogo de escolha, só que é bem intuitivo, né? Eu não lembro o que o pessoal falou. Sei que o pessoal me indicou bastante. É o último dia de
Hello
gamescom.
everyone and welcome to FGS Best of Gamescom. My name is Jules Gill and the rest of the FGS team is scurrying around the show floor as we speak to bring you some exclusive content that you'll see over the next hour or so. I'm talking hands-on time with games that you desperately want to play like Silk Song and Lego Batman, as well as games that you just need to know more about. And we've got exclusive developer interviews and some secret and special content planned along the way as well. In fact, why don't we kick things off with something very special indeed.
One of the biggest talking points at this year's Gamescom was, of course, Resident Evil Requiem. The 15 to 20 minute demo, depending on how much time you spend noping out and standing in the safety of the opening room, begins with new protagonist Grace Ashcroft strapped to a hospital bed upside down and clearly not here of her own free will. Grace is a new character in the Resident Evil franchise and unlike Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine or Ethan Winters, approaches the situations she finds herself in with a sense of trepidation. She's cautious and, thanks to her work as an FBI agent, leans on her skills of deduction and analysis rather than weapon handling. She can even trip and fall while running in certain panicked situations, if you're playing in third person, which definitely helps give you the feeling that you, as a player,
eu fiquei sabendo que vai ter trechinho que a gente vai jogar com o Leon, mas não sei se é verdade. Ele falou Leon aqui. Já me subiu as esperanças, velho. Será que é verdade?
Continuing out of the room you wake up in and through the only open door, you move into the hospital corridors in a search of a way out. It's here that the graphic fidelity really shines. This footage is captured on PlayStation 5 and the lighting and atmosphere is the best I've seen in a game in this generation. The sound design is also on point, from Grace's breathing
Fiquei sabendo que vai ter path tracing também, velho. O ray tracing mais avançado que tem, velho.
Struggling to spark into life after you flick the switch.
Ah, tá, entendi.
Soon I'm presented with the first classic Resident Evil puzzle, a locked door that needs a key. Finding this key and opening the door will get you a lighter, which Grace can use to navigate through the pitch black rooms of the hospital ward. And this game is dark, intentionally so. There are periods where without the lighter you can't see anything, which plays into what I think is one of the key mechanics in the game, light versus dark, both metaphorically and in the very real sense. Creeping around another room to find the next item, a screwdriver, they get a first look at the game's monster. Much like Resi 3's Nemesis, this creature is big, slow, and ever-present, in this section of the game at least. But unlike Nemesis, it has a serious weakness.
E ela não gosta da luz, né, velho?
Disappearing into the ceiling, you're left alone to complete the puzzle, but with the feeling that the monster could return at any time. You can even hear it from time to time stomping around the floor above. But it's the sections where it all goes quiet that the tension really ramps up, because you know it's just waiting for the right moment to burst through a door or drop down through a hole. The demo ends with Grace escaping into another part of the hospital, with the monster in hot pursuit. It's not going to be the last time we see these two running around dark corridors together, that's for sure. And it wasn't mine either. I instantly went back to play it all again in third person. An option you can choose at any point in the game by accessing the menu and changing the camera setting. I guess it just means I'll be playing the game through twice when it launches on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on February the 27th, 2026.
That was Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Up next, Nathan is going to summarise everything that you potentially missed in opening night live in just 2 minutes.
Gamescom 2025's opening night live, hosted by Sir Jeff of Keighley, kicked off with a world premiere of Call of Duty Black Ops 7, unveiling a campaign, co-op story mode and a fresh PvE endgame mode. It's slated for release on November 14th. Capcom followed with a chilling new look at Resident Evil 9 Requiem, where a phone call leads to a power cut, which leads to a robed man recreating his favourite moment from Manhunt. Oh, we're gonna get demonetised. Blood that. Thank you. Not long to wait until this entry launches though. It comes out on the 27th of February next year. Onimusha Way of the Sword gave us another look at the revived samurai-style strategic combat.
O pessoal teorizando que aquele monstro poderia ser a mãe dela, velho.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. 2025 release date was confirmed, and we were treated to some new footage, so it's all good. Other standouts included Silent Hill F, Ninja Gaiden 4, The Outer Worlds 2, Ghost of GOTY confirming a return of its co-op Legends multiplayer mode, and the reveal of a brand new game from the creator of Monkey Island, Death by Scrolling. Fallout Season 2 also teased its return, this time featuring New Vegas and a Deathclaw. Finally! But of course, Jeff always has one more thing up his sleeve, and this time it was a cinematic surprise in the form of a new Black Myth game to follow up 2024's Black Myth Wukong. Arguably the biggest surprise of the night though was LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, an evolution of the series similar to the recent Skywalker saga that features an open world Arkham-style combat overhaul and a story that's set to incorporate key moments of Batman's cinematic history. Coming in 2026, it looks set to scratch that Arkham itch that your doctor says isn't a real medical condition. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. But I tell you what, why don't we just cut to the chase and give you a hands-on with this bad boy? I'll pass over now to myself live at the scene of the crime.
Pegou pra quebrar o GTA 6, velho. Pô, mas não ironicamente, o Batman de PS2 Lego, velho, era bom pra caralho, tá?
LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight mixes the usual LEGO chaos with mechanics clearly inspired by the Arkham games, but the aspect of the game that really shines like a bat signal in the sky is the deep love for Batman's history. So I could tell you what I thought of this game, right, but who cares? I liked it, it's really good, you should play it. How about instead I take you on a tour of some of the best Batman references I spotted? You want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
The first thing I got to play was a section set in the open world of Gotham City, and what a beauty it was. Billboards for action news were plastered across buildings, identical to the ones in Batman 89. You can even see Vicky Vale and Alexander Knox are set to host GBC News, so we might see some more of them in the game too. On one rooftop, I stumbled
Pô, os caras tá mostrando referência, velho. Isso é interessante mostrar, velho. Não é pra galera descobrindo, não?
Thing from Batman Returns. Speaking of Oswald Cobblepot, I also spotted a campaign poster that looked awfully similar to his Mayor Penguin posters. Then, during a street fight, I noticed posters warning of a cat burglar, hyping up Harvey Dent, promoting a quiz night hosted by everyone's least favourite trophy enthusiast, and even one poster advertising the services of a rat catcher.
Bom, deve ter muito mais, né? Obviamente eles vão falar tudo aí, porque senão é foda, né?
Then, as the camera whipped round, I caught a quick
referências
glance at some graffiti
HQs,
referencing the Court of Owls,
Isso aí é
the
a coisa das
shadowy
corujas, não é?
organisation who rule Gotham from the shadows and send the undead talons to do their bidding. The next part of the demo though saw Batman and Gordon
Pô, disse que essa saga do Batman das Corujas é do
to
caralho,
shut
velho.
down
Eu lembro
the
de ter
Red Hood
reagido a
They were cooking up a new
uma
toxin
história,
to
acho que foi de quadrinho da
terrorize
Sarjeta,
Gotham
de uma parte lá,
While the
eu tinha
Red
achado
Hood has
muito
been a
foda.
staple of Batman lore for a long time now, the Red Hood gang as a concept and their leader being Red Hood 1 comes directly from Scott Snyder and Greg
Caralho, eu não conheço
Capullo's
esses
Zero
inimigos do
Year,
Batman,
where the
velho.
duo reimagined Batman's origin for the New 52 era. When Red Hood showed off his toxin, it was in a bottle labelled Smilex, the laugh-inducing chemical favoured by Jack Nicholson's Joker.
With a new secret ingredient. Smiley. What is this?
Smiley.
Then the demo's explosive finale leaned heavily into Batman 89, recreating several iconic lines and visuals in glorious Lego form.
Cheio de referência. Ah, esse aí é do primeiro Batman lá, né?
But my absolute favourite deep cut, well, had to be this one. I accidentally knocked a Red Hood goon into a chemical vat, and he yelled,
"Oh no! It's boiling acid!"
Exactly like the panicked bank guard at the beginning of
Obrigado.
Batman Forever.
"Oh no! It's boiling acid!" "Oh no! It's boiling boiling acid!
So there you have it, a deep dive into the Easter eggs of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Trust me, this game is shaping up to be more fun than a back credit card with no spending limit. And you can enjoy it when it releases in 2026.
That was Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Up next, we are speaking to the one, the only, the legendary Randy Pitchford about Borderlands 4.
I'm Randy Pitchford. I am the founder of the Gearbox Entertainment Company, and I'm working on Borderlands 4. Borderlands, if you haven't heard about it, is fun. It's just, we sometimes don't care about the rules. We just care about joy, entertainment, surprise, delight, and just fun. And it's a shooter-looter. And it's not just a shooter-looter.
Eu fiquei sabendo de uma notícia, velho, que algum Borderlands, se tu baixasse, eles hackeavam seu PC, velho. Não sei de onde surgiu essa porra.
Shooting and knocking targets down, but it's also fun in the long term, collecting loot, leveling up, becoming more powerful, developing skills and capabilities, and getting to become a god in this world that we're in.
So Borderlands is the king of the looter shooters, but
Borderlands 4 is really special. Not only have we gotten really, really good at making Borderlands games because we've been doing it for so long, making this, in my opinion, the greatest Borderlands game we've ever made, it's also kind of fresh. It does not depend on any prior Borderlands experience. You see Borderlands 4, you think, oh, do I have to catch up on the story? Absolutely not. Borderlands 4 takes place in an entirely new planet with entirely new characters. If you've played a Borderlands game, you will find the connection. You will feel familiar, you'll feel comfortable, but you'll also feel the connection with the story. But if you've never played a Borderlands game before, it's the perfect jumping off point because it is a new setting, a new storyline, and new characters. I know for a fact that whenever we've made a numbered sequel for Borderlands, we get about 30% of our players are joining us for the first time. And so we knew that going into it. So we made Borderlands 4 to be the most inviting version of a new Borderlands game for new people.
Heard you were rounding up some vault hunters. Reporting for duty, boss.
With each game, we push boundaries, and we can see those times we've gone too far. Sometimes it's in a game mechanic, sometimes it's in a story decision or a tone decision.
Uma coisa que me tirou desse jogo aí, eu achei que era multiplayer, hero shooting assim, velho. Mas eu acho que tem história também, né, velho?
Too far in the other direction, and we know where the bullseye
Pelo que eu tô vendo.
And that's, I think, to the benefit of all the gamers.
Olha aí, velho, tem boss. Eu vou dar uma chance, velho, pra esse jogo.
Borderlands 4 is, I think technology, both our software technology and the hardware technology, has finally caught up to our ambition. In all of the previous Borderlands games, we've been constrained with load times. In Borderlands 4, the entire world is seamless. There's no load times. You can see a massive world, and you can explore that world, and you don't have to wait. With that comes all kinds of new design for environments, methods of traversal for getting around these different kinds of locations. Not only does it make the game feel more natural from what it always should have been, it led us to evolve design in mobility. When you digistruct in one of your personal vehicles and you hop on that thing and you're hauling ass across the world for miles and miles and miles without a load time, you just feel awesome. The fact that you can feel that freedom and that joy, it's just a beautiful thing. And that's kind of what drives us. That's why we love pushing boundaries and why I'm so grateful that technology finally has caught up to the ambition of Borderlands. Borderlands 4 is launching soon on September 12th. We're coming to Xbox, we're coming to PlayStation, we're coming to Windows PC, and not long after, we're also coming to Nintendo Switch 2. It's very, very exciting. Jump in, wish list now, pre-order now, get it. There's lots of goodies for you if you pre-order, so jump in.
Thank you very much to Randy Pitchford for that amazing interview. Next up, we're about to go on stage and play Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Place your bets on how badly you think I'll do.
Ah, isso aí é jogo lá e Alex, velho.
It's time we stopped pretending that Sonic racing games aren't top-tier contenders. All-Star Racing Transformed was an utter banger, and Crossworlds really does carry over that same vibe and confident swagger. With blistering visuals and a whip-like speed, Crossworlds is a blast to play, especially on a stage that is as grand as this. Here we are on the Sonic Racing Crossworlds booth here at Gamescom, and we are about to play it live in front of this massive stage. It's going to be absolutely epic. Who do you think is going to win? It's going to be me. Come on, big sucks on. got my big socks on, mate. I'm gonna win. Plus, the level designs are absolutely brilliant. Stages can be altered by passing through track switch portals, which can turn a race through an ancient kingdom into a scramble across pools of lava, while dragons blast you with fire. Power-ups are equally varied and feel hilarious or
Pô, mas não é uma merda o conceito, velho. A porra do Sonic, ele é um corredor, viado. O cara, você vai jogar com o Sonic dirigindo um carro, viado. O kart game do Sonic, viado. Não faz sentido pra mim. Tá ligado?
Plus, there were so many vehicles to customize and choose from, and a roster of races bigger than most fighting games.
Eu vi ali GOTY pra caralho, muito foda.
There's just waiting to be explored. And yeah, I did come third. I don't want to talk about it.
Vai ser um crossword, né, velho? Vai ser um crossover, vai ter outros jogos também no meio. Pô, mas tiver o Steve ali, o Stevão, velho.
I'm Aaron. I work at Luna Software, and I'm an artist and designer.
Pô, esse jogo eu tô curioso também, velho. Só queria saber se no PC rodaria, velho.
It's all about atmosphere, making people susceptible to any type of fear and scary thing we want to play with. And there's a lot of analog love and appreciation in it, from CRTs to just the grime of things, the weight and tactile nature of hardware and stuff like that. So I grew up basically next to a VHS store. As a kid, I basically had full access to horror, all the horror I want. So I was watching Alien, 2001,
Às vezes me lembra um pouco Alien Isolation,
the thing that really stuck with me was the tone and the atmosphere and just being lost in those worlds. And fast forward many, many years, I just really wanted to get stuck in. The moon was a very curious setting for me. I was just wanted to see what it'd be like to explore that area as if it was, you know, a piece of media from the 80s and what they thought the future would look like. So the player is a software engineer. They arrive on the moon base to essentially fix an anomaly with the moon base's automated security network. When they arrive, people aren't really there to greet them. And you essentially look around, explore, and uncover kind of like the very recent events that just happened, and try to figure out what the connection is between the issue that you've come to solve and why no one's there. You have a tool, which is a multi-purpose tool. We didn't want to create lots of different tools like weapons that had one function. It was the idea of creating a piece of hardware that felt like a piece of hardware. It would help you solve puzzles. It will help save your data as you progress, or you'd have to find in-world projections that you connect your cat to, which is what the name of the tool is called. So it's called the CAT, and it stands for Cosmonaut Assistance Tool. With that, you can connect to projectors in the world, which display your PDA. So you can see tasks, you can save your data, and so on. It can help defend yourself a little bit as well. So the cat is definitely something that you have to manage.
É porque pelo que eu entendi só tem como tu ver o bicho pelo display, né?
Things like batteries, different value depending on which function you're using. Like with the defense, will take a lot more battery, some not as much for like maybe puzzle solving. You can find batteries scattered throughout the world. As you've seen on the cat, it features a CRT. The CRT can be affected by like a magnetic field, for instance, and it will mess up the distortion and the convergence of things on the screen. So it's kind of like an environment hazard without hurting the player. The next thing I would say is the AI and how the player can kind of interact with them. So horror generally can be split in two ways. You have horror that is more focused on combat and horror that is strictly just, there's no combat, it's more psychological. We kind of fit in the middle a little bit. Defense with the cat is kind of an option, but it won't give you a lot of power. It will help you evade, help you survive, but it's definitely not a weapon that you're going to cause destruction with, that's for sure.
Pancada ali, velho.
Probably seen a few times in the trailer, there's a robotic threat. That is the one we're very happy showing, and it's intimidating. It's got some really interesting capabilities. In the latest trailer, we essentially hint at something that may be a little bit more intimidating as the game goes on, and I won't say too much more, but it's definitely something that we're keeping a bit closer. So Routine is going to be releasing on Steam and all Xbox platforms and Game Pass later this year.
Já tá na minha wishlist, man.
Next up, we are off to an undisclosed location to talk about the mysterious new project from Zaum Studios. That's right, it's time to talk about Zero Parades.
A bruxa? Já, velho. Filmaço.
This is a very exciting time at our studio. We just announced Zero Parades, our
Daquela atriz que já teve um momento Pedro Pascal, né? Já apareceu todo o filme que saía.
Zero Parades is an espionage CRPG that takes heavy inspiration from both espionage fiction and weird sci-fi. So it's a highly paranoia-drenched experience where you get to experience metaphysical horror and miracles. The protagonist of Zero Parades is a spy named Herschel. Herschel, at the end of the day, is not a pleasant person to be around. She's brilliant in her own way, but also deeply flawed, deeply weird, has her strange obsessions that kind of contradict whatever it is that she needs to accomplish as a spy in theater. All of the people in her life that have placed their trust in her have been burnt painfully and traumatically, and Herschel as well. You know, she's a deeply
Não dá pra ver em live porque tem nudez, velho. Mas nudez também é um momento breve.
What happens if the very people that you need to pull off your mission are the ones that you betrayed so horrendously in the recent past that they're either dead or completely unwilling to even speak with you? What happens if those are the people you're gonna need? We define ourselves as a narrative.
Não, no Iluminado ficou, será uns 15, 20 segundos mostrando a chavasca da véia, velho. Não era rápido porra nenhuma. Pior que na bruxa tem um take que é rápido. Eu tô tentando lembrar do final, velho. Eu não quero falar o final pra não dar spoiler pro Bona, velho. Por mais que eu já tenha visto, não lembro. Se a parada lá, ela dura muito. Na minha cabeça não dura, mas tô achando que deve durar sim, velho.
I, for one, cannot wait for this game to come out, and I love the fact that failure will allow me to carry forward in life rather than stopping me dead in my tracks, as it normally does.
Então vamos falar. Quando aparece as bruxas tudo no final lá, velho, elas estão tudo peladas em volta da fogueira, velho. Eu só não lembro se é um take rápido ou se demora, velho. Eu acho que demora um bocadinho.
Exploded onto the scene, hosted by none other than David Hayter and Maggie Robertson, perhaps better known to many as Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid and Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil
da mulher aparecendo lá e o corpo comendo o peito dela.
So too did the show's first world premiere, Hell Let Loose Vietnam, which is launching in 2026. Den of Wolves, a sci-fi heist experience made by the creator of Payday and Payday 2, made an attempt to steal the show shortly after, with its incredible style, impressive amount of prep work that teams can take part in, and some absolutely wild gunplay. And you can check out the full new trailer on the FGS YouTube channel. And also looking to put their money where their mouth is.
Hoje não vai ter jogo novo não. Hoje é só falando um pouco mais dos jogos já apresentados.
We are light years ahead of where we were in the previous games, and now you can climb, and now you can swing, and now you can combine all of these systems together, and the depth of the skating is better and bigger than it's ever been.
Mostrou um pouco mais de gameplay do Batman, do Routine. Tô esperando o Denshattack, velho.
Now much anticipated release date of 2026. And speaking of anticipation, there's probably no hotter game on the horizon than Resident Evil Requiem. And in our interview with the team at Capcom, we got to see more of what horrors lurk in the dark for this.
O foda é que do Resident Evil eles estão escondendo o jogo. Mostrou o gameplay ali, mostrou. Mas porra, o mesmo cenário, viado. Eles estão escondendo a progressão do jogo, velho. O que faz muita gente ficar com medo, e eu também. Eles estão focando mais de mostrar só esse corredor aí, velho. Só essa porra dessa parte aí. Porque a próxima parte vai ser ação. Vai enganar a trouxa, tá ligado? Essa parte é só enganar a trouxa. Todo mundo, caralho, terrorzão, vai voltar às origens. Aí daqui a pouquinho, ela tá dando voadora, socando pedra. É foda, velho.
You too can explore the unknown on September the 25th, later this year. Clowns, Dreams and Guns, not just the name of my new rap album, but also the strange themes explored in upcoming existentialist shooter Dreams of Another. And then the oddity ramped up even further with Pizza Bandit, an intense action game in which you look to claim bounties, defeat monsters,
pizza aí é muito doido, mano. Vai tomar no
recipes as
cu,
you
velho.
jump through different realities
Tu é um pizzaiolo lutando contra ameaças, velho.
make a strange reservation, please.
É isso, invadiram minha pizzaria, tem que matar, viado.
Saying that, there is one place that I don't actually fancy staying overnight, and that's the Vanderboom house shown off in Servant of the Lake, another showcase world premiere whose cutesy graphics were hiding a horror lurking within this mysterious estate. Now, when BPM Bit Crushed was shown off, I did a dance of how the Doctor has said never to do again. But can you blame me? The hit shooter in which you can only shoot and reload on the beat got given a new art style, added roguelike features.
Pô, eles estão escondendo muito o jogo do Resident Evil, mano.
You can use your own music now.
Tem caroço nesse
not
angu.
ready for my unhealthy love of grindcore. And also hitting the high notes was Hotel Barcelona, the newest project from both Suda51 and Swery, aka the minds behind Deadly Premonition and No More Heroes. As you might expect, the footage was
tem que baixar o host desse Hotel Barcelona, velho.
Straight onto my wish list. Plus, by the way, stick around because we're later chatting to the one and only Suda51.
What the f*** are you doing? Can't you see I'm working here?
Later on in the show, making his triumphant return was
jogo do
Styx,
Goblin,
who,
yeah.
thanks to a new gameplay trailer, showed off what this foul-mouthed goblin can really do in Styx Blades of Greed. This stealth action title with a liberal dose of magic and mind controlling is coming to consoles and PC in fall 2025.
Você controla a
Now,
mente,
if you
velho.
ever wished your aerial dogfights had more literal dogs in them, then you must have loved seeing
Isso aí é o
Wild
jogo
Blue,
Frost.
a title that pays homage to the likes of Star Fox with a huge dose of 90s early morning TV charm. And if you wanted your bounty hunting to have more howdy partner, then you'd have been blown away by Bounty Star. Here you build and maintain a mech suit in the wildest of western settings, slinging guns and ticking off names on your revenge bucket list.
There you are. All better.
With its stunning graphics and intriguing approach to hacking and puzzle solving, Pragmata caught the world's attention when it was originally announced, so we were thrilled to chat with the team from Capcom on its development, its characters, and even a few teasers of future content.
One of the standout features of Pragmata is the combat system, in which both of our protagonists must work together. Diana can hack enemies, which opens up their armor. Hugh can then come in with his arsenal of various weapons to shoot at their now exposed weak spots.
Now, as sad as it was to see the show come to a conclusion, there was of course one more huge reveal, and we just need to talk about how amazing it was to see the Halloween franchise hit our screens in video game form. The tone, the music, the fact that John Carpenter was directly involved in its making was amazing to see, and the fact that this is both a single and multiplayer experience, well, that's left us screaming for more. Now, if you want to see every game featured on the show, you can head to the FGS Steam page, and when you do so, you can send that Add to Wishlist button into oblivion as you add all these fantastic titles to your lineup. Now back to Nathan on the Gamescom show floor, who's what are you up to there, dude?
I'm about to head in there to get a hands-on demo with Lego Voyagers.
Cadê? Eu quero ver mais gameplay do Denshattack, velho. Mostra pra nós aí. Pô, esse joguinho a princípio eu achei que ia ser uma merda. Mas eu tô começando a querer dar uma chance, velho.
I was the creative director on the project. We're here at Gamescom, hanging out and showing it to the audience.
Sei não, velho. Só que essa porra é multiplayer, não é, velho? Acho que necessariamente tem que jogar no multiplayer. Porque eu trabalho em equipe, ó. Em dupla, né?
Tumble around in the environment, connect to studs wherever they're available, picking up other bricks and building with the bricks. So it's a very unique take on how you play with Lego actually in a digital sense. So getting this close to launch.
Se fosse igual aquele do foguinho do foguinho e da aguinha, velho. Vocês lembram do joguinho do foguinho e da aguinha? No WASD você controlava um e na setinha você controlava o outro, tá ligado?
What we are showing at this Gamescom for players is the introduction to the game and the sort of tutorials and stuff, and I can't wait to get them to actually play further in where we start twisting the gameplay a little bit and give more interesting puzzles and stuff, and the narrative as well, right? There's gonna be a story about these two friends. They're just bricks hanging out, you know, and having fun and being friends, and they really want to become astronauts.
É verdade, era
actually
triste
dream
mesmo.
about being astronauts. Yeah, so if you love playing co-op games with a friend or with a parent or with a child, this game is totally for you. And if you love playing with bricks, just like you remember it as a kid.
E pra ser mais raiz ainda tem que chamar de joguinho do foguinho e da aguinha, velho.
So Lego Voyagers coming out September 15th
Eu não lembro o nome
on all
do
consoles
jogo,
and PC. And if you have a friend and you already bought the game, the friend can download the Friends Pass, so you get to play with only one copy. So go on Wishlist now. And can't wait for you guys to play.
Water and Fire.
Thank you very much to the developers over at LEGO Voyagers for that lovely chat. Up next, Amy has played Hollow Knight Silksong, and she is absolutely positively desperate to tell you everything about it.
I'm acutely aware that a lot of people would sell their nan to play Hollow Knight Silksong, and so I've memorised every microscopic inch of what I played at the Xbox booth to spill the tea, or rather the juicy bug guts on what you can expect. First of all, we don't have exact B-roll for the demo I played, so everything you're seeing here is a
todos os canais eu acho que eu sigo, acompanho, velho, GOTY, sei lá, velho, Conversa Atum, sei lá. Enfim, todos esses canais que a gente consome de react aí, que o Aguerro, o pessoal lá pede pra me reagir a história de jogo. Todo mundo falando do Silksong, velho. É ser muito cult, né, velho? Cagar pra todos os outros jogos, velho. Ninja Gaiden, foda pra caralho, Onimusha. Porra, o novo jogo do Black Myth, caralho. Não, vamos falar só do Silksong, velho. Enfim, gosto de cada um, né, velho?
But one thing I did notice when leaping about is how much more agile Hornet feels in comparison to the Knight. She can grab onto ledges too, which feels like an inverted trustful because your brain wants to be like, I can't make that jump. You can, bro. She's got this. Her bind ability uses her threads to heal, and it charges with hits similarly to the first game. In terms of combat, she's equally as nimble, and you can get those needle attacks in there with absolute
Deve ser tudo nintendista, velho. Deve consumir aquele joguinho que custam um pão com mortandela e na hora de pagar é R$500, velho. Deve ser todos esses caras aí, velho, que defende, velho.
So it does feel oddly empowering to be stepping into the tiny wee boots of something that previously handed your ass to you. My confidence didn't fare as well in the
mas os outros também são épicos, viado, tá ligado?
This is a kind of
mas é do gosto de cada um, né? Essa galera aí só consome jogo de menor orçamento, velho.
Keys to release the mechanisms and gates, and getting totally lost in true Metroidvania fashion.
Odeio
Where
jogos
is the flippin' cartographer? I met the Forge daughter, whose name implies she might be able to do some weapon upgrades later in the game. The enemies here were better armored and required a little more thought to dispatch. And at one point, I got locked in a frightening liminal space with a barrage of them appearing in waves. And then I encountered Lace. This is gonna be really hard, Tom.
Exato. É por isso que eu não tomei nenhum spoiler de Black Myth e o Kong praticamente. Nenhum dos canais que eu reajo caga. Todos eles cagam pra esse jogo, tá ligado? Impressionante, né?
I had a couple of goes and felt like I'd bench pressed enough muscle memory to definitely have her on my third go, but you know, there were a lot of people queuing and I didn't want to be that guy. You know, you can't hog the most wishlisted game on Steam right now, can you? That's a proper jerk move.
O Frost comentando uma coisa no X lá. Sobre... Eu não lembro direito como é que era, mas é algo no sentido de que, cara, não é porque eu jogo jogos que não são populares que eu sou cult, né, velho? Concordo, mas com ressalvas, velho. Pô, se tu só joga uns joguinhos nichadaço, velho, assim, tá ligado? Porra, velho, tu é cult pra caralho, velho. Vai tomar no cu. No Brasil mesmo, tu nem tem acesso a essas porras, e pegando mais o público de antigamente, né, velho? Na época lá. Nem tem acesso a essas porras direito, velho. E focar só nesses jogos aí é maluquice, velho. Pelo amor de Deus. Um cara que gosta de um Black Myth Kong, um GTA, tá ligado? Umas paradas assim, é um cara normal. Agora a galera que só liga pra jogo indie, velho, tipo um Deltarune, um DT, por mais que não sejam tão cults assim, pelo fato de ser jogos que quebram a bolha, né, velho? São jogos que, pô, acho que todo mundo gosta. Eu mesmo tenho interesse pra caralho de jogar, tá ligado? Até mesmo o Undertale eu já joguei, tá ligado? Joguei mais no início, não fui muito longe no jogo. Não sabia porra de inglês, viado. Não entendia caralho nenhum. Aí um jogo dropado por não saber inglês.
Bends the laws of physics, but maintains the laws of ballistics. You'll wield real-world weapons, tactics, and gear, but apply them in places where gravity flips sideways, where bushes don't always stay still, and where enemies from other timelines will lurk inside the abandoned secret laboratories you'll find in your raids. My favorite part about active matter would have to be the ability to hard flank the enemy. And I'm not just talking about ordinary.
Frost aproveita o resto, velho. Eu já vi o Frost falando de outros jogos assim.
I'm talking about using strategies you simply don't see in other games.
Padrão, né, velho? Tipo um Zelda. Um bagulho assim. Teve outros jogos mais populares também que ele já veio falando sobre, que agora eu não tô lembrando.
They're clutching on the side of the wall like a spider, or upside down on the ceiling.
Agora os demais, né, tipo o Core, os outros lá que a gente já reagiu, eu nunca vi eles tocar no assunto, velho. É só Silk Song, umas paradas assim, velho.
To get to these hard to reach areas like the underside of a damn floating cargo ship. You can make it so you have a shot anywhere they try to hide, and they would never see it coming. It's multi-dimensional combat at its finest. Active Matter is set in a shattered multiverse, where different timelines and parallel worlds.
Eu tenho uma teoria do porquê, tá? Eu tenho uma teoria do porquê. Eu vi um cara falando sobre, eu não lembro quem, e eu tendo a concordar com eles. É mais fácil você tentar um sucesso no YouTube, na internet, falando de jogo nichado do que de jogo popular. Porque se você for falar de jogo popular, você vai competir com grandes YouTubers por aí, com grandes streamers, tá ligado? Sei lá, talvez com Ala, o Max, com o Flow, né, o Dava Jones, o Cross. Tem muita gente que vai falar sobre o mesmo jogo. Aí o pessoal provavelmente vai preferir ouvir deles, tá ligado? E por isso que é mais fácil você ser um cara mais reconhecido na internet falando de jogo menor, tá ligado?
Look, I can't lie to you, being at Gamescom is maybe the highlight of my life. Even better than that time I won the Nobel Peace Prize. But I want you to feel like you've been to Gamescom, but without all the bad stuff, you know, without the feeling of shame and paying $6 for a Diet Coke. I just want you to experience the best.
E faz sentido, tá ligado? Provavelmente essas galera talvez possa consumir esses outros jogos, mas não fala deles porque talvez na cabeça deles eles não querem competir com os maiores, tá ligado? No assunto, então é mais fácil pegar um jogo pequeno. Que aí se o cara procurar informação daquele jogo, vai acabar parando no vídeo deles, tá ligado?
Right here, Josh, get in on the head. And I'd love to give the Baby Yoda one. Can't put it on the armor because it will take the paint off.
Isso aí é um cosplay de qualidade, velho, maneiro pra caralho.
How many people do you think kept the stickers and how many do you think threw them away the second year?
Oh, I think everyone immediately threw them away.
Claramente FGS é Flow Games Studio, velho. Flow Games sendo representado aí, ó.
The most realistically rendered nose I've ever seen, so I give that best up.
Solid.
What a game. What a game. Can't be Metal Gear Solid 3. It's the best.
Do you hear me, Snake?
Caralho, tem um trator aí, viado.
You come at Gamescom, you want to see a piece of machinery that can plow a field in 0 to 60 seconds. This bad boy's doing it.
Pô, eu vi que tem um bate-carro Lego aí, viado. É ele ali atrás? É. Pô, maneiro pra caralho, velho.
You can't stop. I'm gonna give all of them to the big Batman. Batman! Batman! For some reason, SpongeBob's nose doesn't have the award on it anymore, so we're going back in his nose. Boom, best nose at Gamescom. Well done, SpongeBob. Great job, best of Gamescom. Best face hugger of Gamescom, well done.
Okay, so to give you a bit of context here, myself and Josh from the FGS team queued for roughly 10 minutes to get into this Stranger Things haunted house experience. So we get in and it's spooky and there's a big demogorgon and then... That? So funny. Best carriage of Gamescom. Yeah, get this on there. Best of. So everyone knows. Everyone knows. Best of Gamescom. Servant of the Light. Look at this. Thank you so much. This is actually how I'm getting home. They're sending me back to Scotland in this, so. Do we press go? How do we move this? I've got to get back to Scotland like ASAP. I've got a dentist appointment, so if we could get moving, that would be great. There you have it, the best of Gamescom. So hopefully you feel like you've been now, and you didn't even have to wait 20 minutes to use a toilet. Lucky you. Next up, we've got something very special, an interview with the team behind Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Enjoy that.
Did my eyes deceive me? My name is Maihiro, and I am the director on the Ivalice Chronicles. And then this is Yokoyama-san. She is the co-director of the title. So in the original version, there was a coaching element. So when I played the original version and I experimented with coaching, I felt it was kind of a bit of a hard to understand mechanic. And so after playing through it and feeling this way, I talked to my hero here about that, and I mentioned that to him, and he said, well, why don't you just adjust the feature so it's easier for you to understand? So I went ahead and I put a lot of work into fine-tuning this and making it something that is probably more easy to understand overall.
What do you think makes you so special?
Aí, jogo com esse gráfico assim é jogo fora, olha lá, ó.
We fight to end the aristocracy, not to become it.
So we've done quite a bit of fine-tuning to the different stats of the characters. And of course, from the original version, we had Final Fantasy VII's Cloud appear as a guest character, and he will be making his return as well. And some people might remember that Cloud was a little hard to use and utilize within your party, but we have made some different tweaks that do improve upon that. And in order to use his special limit abilities, you needed a specific sword. But luckily for the Ivalice Chronicles, when Cloud joins your party, he already has the sword. So I hope that everyone will play and go and discover what is where the original sword was.
Um salve pro Steli Cuyo, velho. É um gringo lá de Honkai Star Rail lá comentando meu vídeo. Eu reagi aos vídeos dele.
Star Trek Infection is not just a VR game, but it's also something we haven't really seen before. A survival horror set in the Star Trek universe. You play as a Vulcan Starfleet officer sent on a mission aboard the USS Lumen, but something has gone horribly wrong. There's no crew in sight and an unknown entity has infested the ship. Now it's inside your body, physically mutating you and unlocking dangerous new abilities at the cost of
Gente, na moral, tá um calor desgraçado, velho. Que porra é essa, mano?
There's a traitor on board.
Tô morrendo aqui.
Maybe there's still a chance to save this ship.
To be fair though, I mean, if I could shoot tendrils out of my hands and zip about like an intergalactic Spider-Man, I'd
É diferente dele, eu leio a imagem, né, velho?
It wasn't really doing anything for me anyway. There's a whole load of stuff here that Star Trek fans are gonna love. You can Vulcan
como é que ele vai me ler, velho? Vai olhar pra mim, vai me ler.
Masseuse and set your phasers to stun or kill, whichever takes your fancy. Star Trek Infection is coming to Quest 3 later this year, with a Steam version to follow soon after. So if you've always dreamed of combining horror, VR and Star Trek, then you can make it so. Did that reference make sense? I hope that made sense.
Up next, we're going to speak to the developers over at Reanimal about their visceral-looking title.
I'm Dave Mervick, I'm the narrative director at Sociais Studios. We're here at Gamescom showing off our demo for Reanimal. Reanimal is about a group of 5 orphans, and you play as 2 of them, these siblings, whose job it is really to get around by boat and on land.
O gráfico tá melhor, tá não?
Areas of what was once a nice place, tracking down your old friends.
A questão da câmera, assim, da direção.
Avoiding the unpleasantries along
Caralho,
the
que
way.
bicho bizarro, velho. Eita porra.
The core of this whole world and during their backstory is a violence. And
Olha os reflexos na água. Parece que tá mais bonito, velho. É que eu também não lembro como é que era os outros, mas a princípio tá mais bonito.
You build up a picture of what it is that's gone on between these kids and why they need to get back together again. These children are actually older than the characters that were in our previous games.
Por dentro do guri, velho.
But there is a balance that we like, because we like to create these quite unpleasant worlds, and Reanimal is a much darker tale. But when you drop kids into the center of this, into a world that doesn't like them very much, there's a nice kind of juxtaposition there. When you've got these kids facing darker themes, then maybe that pushes it a bit too hard, but now we've got multiplayer, then that brings the needle back to that sweet spot that we like to strike without being too charming this time around.
Vocês reagiram aos vídeos da história de Little Nightmare, velho. Eu não sei a história, velho. Todas as alegorias, tá ligado? Só sei que o pessoal fala que é pesado pra caralho, velho. Tem crítica a muita coisa. Homem torto, velho.
Reanimal for us is the next evolution of our studio. We want
agora esses bichos que rastejam aí, achei bizarro.
What the kind of games that we like to make. We're trying new things, that we're bringing them at a darker world, that they get to play together at last. The camera as well, we've done so much work on the camera so that players feel scared together. It's been one of our guiding lights since the very beginning of the project. The Gamescom demo and the full game of Reanimal is fully playable in single player, couch co-op and online co-op. Reanimal's coming Q1 2026 to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox and Switch 2, so wishlist now.
Pô, pior que não é Little Nightmare não, viado.
Oh yes.
Ué.
Oh yes, my friends.
Reanimal?
Yes. It's time. Now, I've been banging on for years about how much I love the escalators here at Gamescom.
É tipo subtítulo lá do jogo. Little Nightmare Reanimal.
So much that I've wrangled together a ton of developers to take part in an interview with a twist. And that twist is that you only have the time it takes to ride one of these escalators here at Gamescom 2025 to tell me everything about your game. This is Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Luigi, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about By Sweet Carol. Let's go.
So By Sweet Carol is a 2D animated game, completely made by hand, and the game is about Lana Benton.
Não é Little Nightmare não, viado. Eu vou adicionar na Steam aqui, velho. Reanimal. Eu achei que era Little Nightmare, foi ludibriado.
Chaser and hunter down. So it's up to the player to discover what happened.
Pô, quando isso acontece, né, velho? Obviamente o jogo não foi inspirado no Little Nightmare, né, velho?
Here with Sarah is going to tell you everything you need to know about Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Let's go.
So, have you ever wanted to kill Harry Kim?
Yes.
Now's your chance. So, in our new game, you can slip into the role of Catherine Janeway.
Okay.
É que eu lembro que no Little Nightmare 3, você vai jogar com... Vai ter dois gurizinhos, né, velho? Assim, na campanha. Você e mais umzinho.
Yes, you can.
Amazing.
Eu tô maluco.
And it will be out on console and PC soon.
Wish it now. I'm here with Saffron, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Cappy Castaway.
Cappy Castaway is an adorable capybara adventure game where you play as a capybara and a crow that have been washed away to a mysterious island after a flood. There are lots of mysterious animals that you can meet, and you can make soup in our new demo. You can wish this right now.
Caralho, o Reanimal. Esse Reanimal aí vai ter dublagem em PTBR, viado. Aí é GOTY. Ó, interface, português, confere. Legendas em português, confere. E áudio em português, confere. Se tem áudio em português, pare, velho. Porra, GOTY pra caralho, velho.
You fight over the planet of Baltarus against aliens or against humans if you are an alien.
Ooh, amazing stuff. And when can people expect to play it?
Well, they can already play it. It's out in early access and you can check it out on Steam.
Perfect. That's been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Thibaut, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Eversiege. Let's go.
So it is Eversiege, you play this badass armor to liberate Bastion, and for that we'll mix together well-known genres, the level action of MOBA, the management of RTS, and the replayability of roguelites.
That sounds amazing. And when can people get their hands on it?
we should be in early access end of this year.
Amazing stuff. That has been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Luke, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about World of Tanks Heat. Let's go,
Esse Hannibal já tinha aparecido nos outros eventos, velho. Inclusive. Agora me bateu uma dúvida aqui. Como é que essa porra apareceu? Eu não botei na wishlist, velho.
Wish this us now and get ready for a World of Tanks you've never seen before.
That sounds amazing, and that, my friends, has been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Luca, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Bloodgrounds. Let's go!
Bloodgrounds is a gladiator turn-based tactical game. It has city management and team management. It's based on the Heroes, the Might and Magic, and all the great strategy games. Yeah, it's set in a Roman Empire with a fantasy twist, and please play the demo and wishlist, yeah.
And it's out this year. That was Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Mac, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Last Flag. Let's go.
Last Flag is the first ever real capture
Esse aí é o captura de bandeira.
You can hide the flag anywhere in the
Isso aí eu
map with
lembro.
your team of 5, find the enemy flag, bring it back to your home base, defend it for 1 minute to win it, all while capturing radar towers to help you by eliminating search areas on the map.
Amazing.
And you can play it free next week.
Sabe joguinho de captura de bandeira maneiro, velho? Halo. Combat Evolved. Na verdade, não é um jogo que pega a bandeira, né, velho? É um jogo que tem esse modo no multiplayer.
And you take on the role of a simple merchant as you turn a rundown settlement into a thriving medieval empire.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And when is the game out?
It's out next year, and put it on your wish list.
Amazing stuff. That has been Escalator Pitch. I'm here with Kurt, who's going to tell you everything you need to know about Stormforged. Go!
So, Stormforged is an open-world survival crafting game, and you can imagine it as basically take some French graphic novel, take some anime like Miyazaki, put that together with magical storms that are based on real-world tornadoes, just ripping stuff up, throwing it around, and then mix that together and make it really, really easy to mod.
Oh, and when's Stormforged coming out?
It's coming out in early 2026.
And that was Escalator Pitch.
What's up, everyone? I'm Raphael.
This is Andre.
And we're here to tell you all you need to know about Nine Kings, a game where you have 9 tiles,
99 cards,
999 troops.
Esse jogo é português, né, não?
999 ways to break the game.
Ele é o dev? Esse cara é português, esse cara é brasileiro, viado. Eu vou pesquisar aqui, pera aí. Eu tô muito louco, velho.
If you do that today, we're gonna be eternally grateful. Please take a shot.
Guys, I told you.
O nome dele é André. Você viu no caixa? André. Ah, se bem que André não significa porra nenhuma, velho. Pera aí.
My kingdom for a set of motorized mechanical stairs. One day, my sweet. Well, while I ride this beauty up to heaven itself, why don't you check out this
brasileiro.
Anno 117 Pax Romana.
Desenvolvido pelo estúdio brasileiro Sede Socket. E publicado pela Hooded Horse. Lançado em acesso antecipado em 23 de maio de 25. Temos um brasileiro! Porra! Aí sim.
So it's a game where basically you are developing your city, your empire, your network of connections and tradings, and to become the most impressive empire inside of the world. And with Anno 117 Pax Romana, we are visiting for the first time.
Brasil mostrando que sabe fazer jogo também.
Players seems to love it so far. We are super happy. It's a wonderful experience. That's the moment where you connect with your players. And this, as a game maker, this is something that you want to live, basically. So in Anno 117 Pax Romana, for the first time in the series, you will be able to choose the province where you start. So the starting points can be very different. You can start in Latium, so a place inspired by ancient Rome. You can think about a lavender field and a very nice area, something lovely.
A evolução humana,
you can go to something a bit more hard,
acabando
like
com a vegetação,
the Celtic called Albion. So can imagine a very mystic, rainy, so it's gonna be a very different mood, and you will start from the get-go where you want to start your province. Also, for the first time, we're gonna be releasing on console at launch, so you're gonna be on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So it's gonna be something also fresh for newcomers. So what we are bringing here at Gamescom for the first time is Albion. That's the new part of the world inside of Anno 117 Pax Romana, inspired by the Celtic world. So you can imagine this misty, very rainy area.
Pô, o último jogo de gerenciamento que eu joguei, eu achei maneirinho, legal. Foi o Ostrive, velho. O Ostrive é legalzinho, tá custando acho que uns 40 e pouco, velho.
Expand your power inside of that region is gonna be up to you as a governor.
Quando eu joguei, eu acho que ainda estava em Early Access, se não me engano.
Crazy alien world. So we are super excited to be at Gamescom and for the players to play the game for the first time, but we know not everybody can come to the Gamescom event, so we have a little surprise for them. Starting September the 2nd, on PC, you will be able to download the demo and play for the comfort of your home. It's going to be a limited time demo, so don't wait too long for that, and you will be able to discover our new world for Anno. Anno 117 Pax Romana is releasing on November the 13th this year, 2025, on PC, PS5, and Xbox. You can also wishlist, of course. You can pre-order. It's even better for us, of course. But don't wait because it's gonna come very soon.
Coliseu de navio, velho. Nunca vi.
Just look at this booth, and a huge thank you to the developers of Anno 117 Pax Romana for that wonderful interview. Up next, I had some hands-on time with Cinder City, and here are my thoughts.
So we managed to play a new game called Cinder City, which you might have seen under the previous game name of Project LLL. It's an MMO tactical shooter where post-apocalyptic Seoul is crawling with zombies and mechs. It's kind of like Call of Duty Zombies meets The Division. You're a father on a mission to find your daughter, and you can do this alone and go full Metal Gear Dad by slapping on a camo suit, turning invisible and sneaking past enemies like the world's most heavily armed chameleon, or you can squad up with up to 3 other players who will definitely not run straight into enemy fire while you're stealthing. So, if that fails, then why not hijack a mech? Because nothing says parental determination like stealing a walking tank or shooting rocket launchers from a bloody helicopter. Oh, and this world isn't just pretty, it is reactive. Procedurally generated content changes based on your situation, meaning no 2 firefights play out exactly the same. And while there are nicely designed zombies to fight, who, by the way, make the most unnerving sounds, there is also whatever the fresh hell this thing is. I don't know its name, I don't want to know its name, but it's giving off big Rat King vibes from The Last of Us, so I'm just going to call him Arm King. Oh, and one last thing to remember, young Padawan, while you can pilot the mechs, there's always going to be a bigger mech. Cinder City drops in 2026 for PC and console, so get ready to save your daughter, save the world, and possibly punch a mech right in the face. If that wasn't enough action for you, we've got a developer interview with the minds behind Phantom Blade Zero.
Phantom Blade. Pô, esse jogo é o GOTY também, tá?
Phantom Blade Zero is an action RPG, something in between a Souls game and roller skater or Witcher. But it's like a playable kung fu movie, so all the movements are motion captured by real kung fu masters. So it's a fantasy world, but it's not like an average Souls game. Many people will mistaken us for a Souls game, but we have very clear narrative and very clear navigation on the map. But it's not linear. It's semi-open. The smaller scale ARPG. Like one is a Souls game, the other is the hack and slash Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden game, but with very high speed, fast paced combat, because we all love different ways to fight.
É meio que um Souls com hack and slash, velho, que ele falou ali. Pô, foda pra caralho, velho.
There are tons of guns you can choose from, right? So you can feel different range and different.
Ele tem elemento, ele é um hack and slash com elementos Souls-like. Então é um Souls-like.
We have 30 main weapons and more than 20 secondary.
Muito obrigado pelo follow, Dino, sei lá. Bem-vindo, meu querido. Tá podendo patrocinar vídeo, homem? Hoje vai ser. Hoje eu não tô vendo vídeo, não. Terminando o evento aqui, eu vou jogar o jogo. Hoje é dia de gameplay. Mas a partir de amanhã eu já reajo o vídeo. Porém, tem vídeo patrocinado já na frente. Acho que tem uns 4 ou 5 vídeos, não sei, patrocinado.
Story is always most important. There are many accessible ways to.
Mas se quiser patrocinar e aparecer no dia que eu for reagir, fica à vontade, meu querido.
Because Souls genre is very influential. It's super complicated, no directions and everything.
Quanto mais cedo patrocinar, seu lugar fica armazenado na lista, velho.
Because our point is to tell a story, to build our original world. We don't have like quests like help the old nannies to find a cat or unclog the toilet or something like that. Because sometimes we feel modern games,
Pô, esse jogo aí, velho, eu queria tanto... Porra, ia ser um sonho se rodasse um 60 FPS com gráfico alto assim, ó, no meu PC, velho, pra eu poder gravar vídeo, velho. Eu tenho a síndrome do conteúdo, velho. Se eu não gravar, eu fico mal.
There will be some challenge mode. You can fight the boss you have already defeated, but you can also forbid some of your weapons, ban some of your gears, and ban some of your accessories. The best scenario will be with only one sword to fight the boss.
Caralho. Absurdo de bom,
Blade Zero is a new game you'll never see before. So you are welcome to follow our social medias like X, TikTok,
eu vou meter o louco, velho. Esse jogo vai ser de quando mesmo? Ano que vem é GTA 6, velho. Eu ia meter que ia ser o GOTY, velho, mas com GTA 6 não tem condição de competir, velho. 2026 já é do GTA 6.
And for those who has a great PC and also for PlayStation 5 Pro, we have some advanced graphic effect. So stay tuned to our game and keep your eye on us.
Eu descobri uma maneira de explicar mais fácil. Vídeos de menos de 1 hora é 5, menos de 2 é 10, menos de 3 é 15.
That was Phantom Blade Zero. Up next, we're off to the wild world of PVKK, where the devs have something very special to show us.
Imagine for a second that they made
esse jogo aí que eu achei bizarro, mano. Que porra de jogo é esse?
Remake, and instead of fighting back alien hordes with one button that goes pew,
simulador de russo.
You instead had all of these buttons. This is PVKK, where you manually control a massive cannon to fend off an ongoing interplanetary invasion. So it's up to you to manage.
Ah, os aliens estão invadindo o planeta. Agora que eu vi, tem uns negócios brilhosos no céu lá, velho. É isso? Eu tô entendendo?
Precise firing procedures to shoot your enemies out of the sky and keep planet Earth safe and sound. But between the invasions, you of course need to find some time to explore your bunker for secrets and maybe even have a cup of tea. It's called self-care, guys. Try it sometime. Now, in the version you play, those will all be virtual buttons and levers, but because I'm a certified pro gamer who owns 3 copies of Gitaru Man, I got to play the PVKK demo on this. A real-life recreation of the missile control desk that I could touch with every single one of my disgusting digits. What a demo it was, though. There's genuinely nothing better than a big mad game with a big mad controller made specifically for that big mad game. I was spinning steering wheels, cranking levers, flipping switches, and smashing that launch control harder than a YouTube.
Pô, que maneira,
I don't want to brag and say that I was like the best at it or amazing or anything, but I did get a literal medal at the end of the demo, which, you know, I feel speaks for itself.
I'd like to thank my parents.
O bom de desses eventos é que você ainda volta com lembrancinha pra casa, mano.
There's no denying that the version of PVKK you play at home is going to be very different to the experience I had, but I've got no doubt that that core gameplay loop of targeting, calibrating, and then shooting your enemies out of the sky is going to be just as addictive as the time I spent with it here at Gamescom. No release date for PVKK yet, but it'll be coming soon to Steam, so keep an eye on your radar and be ready to shoot this one out of the sky.
PVKK.
And by shoot it out of the sky, I mean buy it, obviously.
Your codename for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on.
I am here with the marvelous Rosie Caddick from PlayStation Access. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. We've both played.
Pra mim ainda é um remaster, velho. Se for a mesma coisa do jogo anterior, pra mim é um remaster, velho. Não adianta. Se o jogo é totalmente igual, só que repaginado pra uma versão mais realista, né, que o gráfico era atual, pra mim é um remaster, porra.
Oh my god, the graphics. You can see the fibers.
Vou aguardar opiniões. Quando sair o jogo, a galera começar a jogar, eu vou pegar a opinião da rapaziada pra ver. Porque eu também não joguei nem o anterior, né, pra saber. Por mais que, mas o jogo é refeito do zero. Mas foi idêntico, igual, porra. Não adianta.
One thing I was really excited also to see was how they were going to do the new codec calls. And of course with the new character models, I thought it looked really great. You can like flick between perspectives of the characters. Like, you know, when they start off with their face like forward but slightly looking down, and then they can have like to the side.
Side profile,
So literally, every time a new character popped up, I of course went through. I can't appreciate Paul mugshot. Did you hold R1 to see the first person perspective in cutscenes?
Yes, I
well
did.
done.
Is that new?
No, so that is original as well.
Oh, nice,
so
cool.
already, it's kind of like a bit of an iconic thing that when you see it, you're like...
Pô, porque pra mim remake tem que mudar alguma coisa tem que mudar, velho.
First person perspective looks like. So when it did pop up again, of course, I was like, oh, it's back, I've got to see what it looks like in these new updated graphics.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
I died a fair bit going in. I was messing around with all kinds of stuff. I got killed by a crocodile a few times, or like an alligator in the mud bit, because you have to like wade your way through.
It can be violent.
I did think I could stab it with a knife, which is kind of on me.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, because they were on about how you should make sure that you feed yourself, right? Otherwise your stamina's going to go down, and you've got to hunt wildlife. And I was like,
you know, there's like snakes.
There's
in the
wildlife.
grass.
There is, yeah, because he is a snake eater. Haha.
And I was like, oh, snake in the grass or crocodile in the mud.
Imagine the meat. Imagine the meat on it. That was what I was thinking. That's going to keep me fed for days.
Yeah,
I really liked how the camouflage bar is now at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Which
I wonder why that changed.
Yeah, so literally, usually it used to be on the top right, but I just saw it pop up in like the center middle of the gameplay, and I was like,
Pô, jogão, tá? Esse jogo deve ser do caralho, velho.
For me, because since you're running around, Snake is in the middle pretty much of the screen, so it's like kind of all in one nice compact space.
Yeah, subtle UI updates, a brilliantly big graphic update, but more importantly, just it feels like it's an iconic game that hasn't lost that iconic flavor and that silliness. So yeah, this is the perspective from someone who's pretty much a noob and someone who's played the OG. So what more could you ask for? Thank you so much, Rosie, for joining me today on the Future Game Show. It's lovely to see you as always.
I've had a lovely time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Up next, we're grinding, sliding, and choosing a path of violence because this
Oh,
is
GOTY aí, ó.
Denshattack.
Denshattack, velho. Esse é o GOTY.
I'm Anzo Beltran. I'm the producer and tech designer for Undercoders, and we are showing Denshattack here at Gamescom. Denshattack in a nutshell is Tony Hawk, but with Japanese trains. So you can
Tony
imagine
Hawk do trem, esse aí mesmo, velho.
these crazy tricks in a Jet Set Radio style art. It's a future version of Japan
achei que ele ia quebrar o
there's been a
bagulho.
climate disaster and everyone has to live now in these dome cities where air is purified. So basically all the rich people got there, but the rest got left
Pô,
behind
esse eu vou querer
outside these dome
muito
cities.
jogar, velho. Eu
All
vou
the
separar uma graninha, vou deixar
infrastructure of the
reservadinha pra ele, velho.
railways have been abandoned. So some gangs have taken over them and invented this crazy sport called Denshattack. In the story, you drive through Japan, meeting all these gangs in a
tem história,
adventure.
né?
There are some friends, some rivalries, a bit of
E
both.
tem,
with the
e tem loré, porra.
like that.
Segura
Your
ele aí,
main
ó.
objective at the beginning is trying to beat the fastest train in existence, but from there are some nice surprises. So for the core gameplay, we have two layers. The first layer is just the basic driving, as we call it. So you have to move with your train through Japan, going as fast as possible and get it to the end station on time. And on top of that, we have all these stylish layers. So you have to make tricks. Some of them are based on extreme sports games like kickflips, wall rides.
Pô, pra quem tem aquele bagulho que não pode ver muita coisa piscando na tela, vai se fuder nesse bagulho aí, velho. Colorido pra caralho.
Also crazy stuff you've seen in the trailer, like driving a Ferris wheel. So the reference, of course, in terms of gameplay, there's Tony Hawk, Jet Set Radio, and those are the games that for us define how a trick-based game has to be. It's also Hi-Fi Rush, Persona 5, and outside
Hi-Fi
games,
Rush, eu tenho que jogar esse jogo
inspiration
também.
From anime, of course, manga like Initial D. Yeah, and also even for the music, we think it's something
Pô,
really important, and we are super
esse
happy
jogo
to be
pegou
working
muito
with
jogo
Lopez
interessante,
for that.
velho, como referência, velho. Se for o que eu entendi. Porra.
So the game is basically a single player experience.
Se a ideia for bem aplicada, velho. Caralho. Pô, mas puxar do Hi-Fi Rush, mano, eles falaram questão de anime, né? Assim, talvez a questão da estética, mas Hi-Fi Rush é um jogo rítmico, né? Será que vai ter alguma coisa assim aqui também? Boss fight.
Adventure to always keep being as fresh as possible. Denshattack is coming to PS5, Xbox Series and PC next year, 2026. And if you enjoyed the trailer and the game, please visit it.
Pô, muito maneiro, velho.
Up next, it is time to rock and roll all over the forces and faces of evil, because now it's time for my jam.
Música create from in-game.
Coming up next, we're about to take on the forces of the sludge god themselves. Awesome name, by the way, because this is a developer interview with the minds behind John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
My name is Tim Willits. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Saber Interactive. Toxic Commando is a 4-player co-op game where you are part of a squad and you fight thousands and thousands of infected in this containment zone. We quickly realized that a lot of the ideas and the design was inspired by the iconic movies of Carpenter, so we reached out to him. He was super awesome. He's given feedback on story and plot. We have like cool, kick-ass John Carpenter music. He's led us to this personality and this uniqueness and this flavor and vibe that the game has, from the main menu to the story to the action. It has that Carpenter style to it. It was very inspirational. If you are a Carpenter fan, look for things that may represent those movies. When you see things, you're like, oh, that's that movie, or oh, that's that movie. Just keep your eyes open. Before playing Toxic Commando, you gotta watch 4 movies. You gotta watch Escape from New York, The Thing, the original Halloween, and Big Trouble in Little China. You'll get the horror, you'll get the action, and you'll get the over-the-top.
Nobody half-asses it this time. Ruby.
Ugh. First time you play Toxic Commando with your
Esse jogo parece ser puro.
Look around for some spare parts
Além de ser trecheira, né, velho? Vai ser algo meio galhofa mesmo, né, velho? Comédia.
You have to fight thousands of infected. If you've loved playing World War Z and Space Marine 2, along with games like Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood, then Toxic Commando is the game for you. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando will launch early 26. It'll be on all your favorite platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And we have cross-play, so you can play with your friends on whatever platforms they like.
Thank you very much to the devs over at John Carpenter's Toxic Commando for that interview. Up next, we are speaking to the legendary Suda51 about his upcoming project, Romeo is a Dead Man.
You're gonna die in about 15 seconds! Seriously? Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The Dead Gear Life Support System.
Ah, eu já vi essa porra, só que eu só não lembro.
Commonly known as Suda51. I'm the CEO of Grasshopper Manufacturer. On Romeo is a Dead Man, been working as producer and director, scenario writer, and I've also been doing some debugging as well.
From now on, you're Dead Man.
Romeo is Dead Man.
Everybody loves Back to the Future, right? Well,
pô, esse jogo é GOTY, velho.
What Dead Man is what if in Back to the Future,
esse jogo vai ser bom pra caralho.
At the beginning, what the hell would happen? How would he turn out? What's going to happen to the story? You know, if you want to find out how that would work out, then play Romeo is a Dead Man.
É um jogo pra quem quer se divertir matando zumbi, né, velho?
You could like time travel to like different eras and there was different zombies in these different time periods, like zombies from like 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and they kind of like gradually evolved and have different like, you know, characteristics and abilities and whatnot. And then I was like, okay, well, what if I just like mashed up all these ideas together with like Back to the Future and Rick and Morty and time travel and zombies, and yeah, it was pretty difficult to like take all these different elements and actually make them fit together, but yeah, we did our best. It's basically sort of a fast-paced action game, you know, like a lot of the games that we've done. And there's a couple things that I'm really looking forward to seeing how players react to. One of them is it's not like parry-based combat, it's more dodge-based movement during combat and stuff. I think we did a pretty good job with that. Also, there's, I guess the most understandable way to put it would be basically zombie cultivation. There's not only enemy zombies in the game, they're called rotters, but there's also another type of zombies that are known as bastards, which you grow yourself and like in a garden, and they become your pals. And you can sort of equip them and like use them as skills, like activate them during battle. I think that part in particular, it's something that you're probably not going to find in any other game, and it's pretty interesting and fun to play with, all the different combinations and mechanics. That's something that I'm really looking forward to players check it out and see what they think.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit?
I'm on your back.
What?
So, you know, here at Gamescom, we've been meeting with a lot of people from the media, having them, you know, play the demo, doing interviews and stuff like this. So far, the response from people who have played the game has been really good. People saying stuff like, you know, this is the best game at Gamescom right now. This is the #1 title here. May even exist somewhere, as far as I know.
Naquela cena lá o jogo parece até com FPS
Once
bom,
you start
né?
reading the articles and watching the videos that are going to be coming out of this trip here to Gamescom, you'll get a pretty good idea of what kind of game it is, what to expect. So yeah, look forward to it. It's going to be an awesome game. So Romeo's a Dead Man will be coming out next year, probably. And it'll be coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. We're hoping to get it on Switch too. It's not definite yet. We're still working on it. But yeah, also we're not sure if it's going to be coming out before GTA 6 or after GTA 6, or we might just go all in and release it on the same day. We're not sure yet.
Thank you very much to Suda51 for that amazing developer interview.
Dead
Up next,
Man.
we're off to the world of Dying Light: The Beast, where we also spoke to the devs about what makes this latest installment so utterly chaotic.
É, vai ter português Portugal, velho. Já tá valendo. Isso aí vai ser o
I'm Nathan Lemaire.
Dead-
I'm the game director for Dying Light: The Beast. In Dying Light: The Beast, we are playing as Kyle Crane, the returning hero from the first Dying Light. He was actually being held captive for 13 years, and he was being experimented on. So when he escapes, basically he's just seeking revenge against the people that are actually like used him as a test subject. What was important for us at the beginning for Dying Light: The Beast is that we took the best from Dying Light 1, the best from Dying Light 2, and we put it together to create this kind of best experience possible. So you will get back to with a parkour that is more grounded, more physical, more closer to Dying Light 1 feeling. Same is for like the physicality and the hit reaction on zombies. Like we wanted to make a step forward and to make sure that hitting zombies just feels fun and, you know, kinda diverse. Like there is no situation that is the
Caralho,
same.
mano, o cara
It's always
virou
like kinda renewing itself
uma
because
desgraça,
of
olha
the
isso.
physics and the
Ele bate
angles
no
and
chão
so
e
on.
quebra o chão, viado. Acho que é por isso que é o de bicho, né, velho? Provavelmente ele sofreu. Apareceu ali no começo ali uns médicos e tudo mais. Ele deve ser fruto de algum experimento, pelo que eu tô entendendo aqui, né? Aí ele meio que ficou assim, mutante, né?
In the Swiss Alps. It's a beautiful zombie apocalypse, I can say, because this is where people would go to vacations before the fall happened. A very good setting as well because it's very diverse, I would say. You have like you have a city, you have industrial park, and some other biomes that make the game always kinda renewing itself. I'm super excited for people to test our new weapons, such as the flamethrower or saw blade launcher. We did put a lot of effort into making this game very satisfying, visually satisfying zombie game and slashing zombie apocalypse. The Beast mode is one of our, new feature. Like it features a complete new skill tree, and it's really an ability that grows over time with Kyle. It's also a central part of the story itself. And with the Beast mode, we wanted to have like this kind of very like unleashing power where suddenly you are not a prey at all. Like you are an ultimate predator. Like you can basically smash zombies, tear them apart completely, use your ability to jump higher, run faster, and it's like really like the ultimate kind of ability for Kyle Crane. So Dying Light the Beast is coming out September 19th on PS5, Xbox One X and PC.
Nossa, foda pra caralho. Isso que vem já.
And there we have it, my friends. That was the Future Games Show Best of Gamescom. Hope you enjoyed it.
We'd like to take a moment to formally apologise to your wallet, but to be fair, it's not our fault all those games look so good.
No, absolutely, don't come for us. If you want to wishlist any of the games in this show, or any of our shows, go to the Future Games Show Steam page.
But until then, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Bye!
Can I go play Lego Batman then?
Yeah, go on then. Go on, off you go.
Be safe. Be nice to the other kids.
He slipped. Oh, he's crying.
Oh, God's sakes, you got plaster.
Go on, let's go help him.
Isso, né? Muito bom, muito bom. Thanks for watching. Pô, muito pica, velho. Bom demais, bom demais. É, aqui os jogos que a gente já via, né? Alguns ali eu não me lembrava, mas tudo bem. Tomei um dibre com o Little Nightmare, que não é Little Nightmare, né, velho? Pô, muito bom, velho. Foi um evento assim onde eles falaram um pouco mais, né? Mostrou um pouco mais de gameplay também. De alguns jogos que a gente já viu. Interessante. Gostei de ver mais sobre o Denshattack. Por mais que eu ainda não... Porra, eu zerei pelo YouTube 1, velho. Eu achei muito foda o Dying Light, mas eu ainda tô muito por fora. Eu ainda não vi nada do 2, assim. De gameplay nem nada. Mas o que teve, cara? Agora. A mente é uma merda, velho. Routine é um que eu tô curioso também. Parece ter um conceito muito interessante. Enfim, muito jogo bacana. Agora é aguardar, né, velho? Agora eu acho que vamos ficar um bom tempo sem eventos de games, né, velho? Só se tiver algum agora pro final do ano aí, da Sony ou algum mais da Xbox, mas acho muito difícil, velho. Se bem que a Sony tá precisando só ter um eventozinho maneiro aí, velho. A Sony tá meio broxa, velho. Enfim, bom demais, velho.